What if the secret to unlocking your life's potential was hidden in the one place you've never thought to look? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a quiet night, the kind where the world feels soft and still. You're sitting by an open window, the cool breeze carrying the scent of jasmine, and your thoughts swirl like fireflies in the dark. Have you ever wondered why some thoughts lift you up while others drag you down? Dr. Elias Voss, a brilliant thinker who explored the human mind until he was 87, left us a profound truth. Your thoughts don't just shape how you see the world. They carve the very path of your life, from the moments of joy that warm your heart to the doubts that chill it. Yet most of us live unaware of this power, tangled in an inner dialogue we didn't choose. It's as if you're wandering through a vast, misty forest, guided by a voice that's both familiar and foreign. Sometimes it whispers hope, other times it snarls with fear. Where does that voice come from? Dr. Voss, whose lifelong study of the psyche changed how we understand ourselves, believed our thoughts are more than fleeting noise. They're messengers, carrying secrets from the deepest corners of our being. The key, he said, is learning to listen, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Imagine sitting across from your thoughts as you would a wise friend, asking "What are you here to teach me?" That simple shift can change everything. Let me share a moment from my own life. A few years back, I found myself at a crossroads, staring at a blank journal under the glow of a single lamp. The clock ticked past midnight, and I was wrestling with a choice: stay in a safe, predictable job, or chase a dream that felt like a wildfire, beautiful but dangerous. My mind was a battlefield, voices clashing. "You're not ready, you'll fail. Who do you think you are?" Those thoughts weren't just words. They were heavy, like stones in my pockets, pulling me back from the leap I longed to take. Then I remembered Dr. Voss's wisdom. Thoughts aren't truths, they're patterns, woven from years of experiences, fears, and expectations. That night, I started questioning those voices, treating them like guests at my table. Slowly, the chaos quieted, and I saw a path forward. This is the journey Dr. Voss invites us into, not to silence our thoughts, but to understand them, to dance with them, to transform them into allies. It begins with recognizing that your mind is a vast, uncharted sea, and you hold the compass. Picture your mind as an ancient, sprawling theater. The stage, bathed in warm light, is your conscious mind, where you make choices, form opinions, and feel in control. But beyond the heavy velvet curtain lies a shadowy backstage, the unconscious. Dr. Voss, at 87, called this hidden realm the silent engine of our lives, driving our actions, emotions, and even our dreams without us ever noticing. It's why you might feel a sudden knot of anxiety before a big moment, or wake up with a heaviness you can't name. Most of us are taught that ignoring negative thoughts will make them vanish, like clouds parting after a storm. But Dr. Voss warned that what we push away doesn't disappear. It sinks deeper, gathering strength in the dark. Those nagging worries, the ones that whisper, "You're not enough," or that you'll never succeed, aren't random. They're your unconscious tapping at the door, pleading to be heard. Let me tell you about Lila, a 42-year-old artist who learned this truth in a way that changed her life. Lila had a gift for painting, her canvases bursting with color and emotion, but for years she couldn't share her work. Every time she reached for a brush, a voice hissed, "It's not good enough. You'll make a fool of yourself." It wasn't just a thought, it was a wall, keeping her talent locked away. She tried ignoring it, hoping it would fade, but it only grew louder until her studio gathered dust. One rainy afternoon, Lila wandered into a small bookstore, the air thick with the scent of old paper. There, she found a worn copy of Dr. Voss's writings, its pages alive with insight. Intrigued, she began to explore her thoughts instead of fighting them. She started journaling, asking that critical voice, "Where did you come from?" Memories surfaced, moments from childhood when a harsh teacher dismissed her drawings as childish. That wound had grown into a belief that her art wasn't worthy. By facing it, Lila didn't just quiet the voice. She turned it into a reminder of her strength. Today, her paintings glow in galleries, each one a testament to the power of listening to the unconscious. This is what Dr. Voss meant when he said, "The unconscious isn't your enemy. It's a guide if you learn its language." Those dark corners of your mind, filled with fears or insecurities, aren't there to torment you. They're parts of you that have been ignored, waiting to be seen. Think of them as old letters, tucked away in a forgotten drawer, their ink still vibrant with stories. When you open them with curiosity, you unlock a clarity that feels like stepping into sunlight after a long night. To start, try this. Pause when a negative thought arises, and instead of pushing it away, observe it, like watching a river flow past. That pause is your first step toward freedom, a moment where you claim the power to choose which thoughts shape your life. Now, imagine your mind as a forest at twilight, where sunlight filters through tangled branches, casting long shadows on the earth. This, Dr. Voss taught us, is the landscape of your psyche, where the conscious and unconscious meet. The shadows aren't monsters. They're parts of you that you've pushed away, fears, insecurities, or dreams you've buried because they felt too big or too raw. Facing these shadows, Voss said at 87, is the key to breaking free from the cycles of doubt that trap us. It's about stepping into the dark, not with fear, but with a lantern of courage, ready to meet whatever waits. Let's meet Jonah Carter, a 35-year-old teacher whose story brings this to life. Jonah was loved for his warm laugh and knack for inspiring his students, but inside, he was unraveling. A single thought haunted him. "I'm a fraud. Soon, everyone will see it." It wasn't just a worry, it was a shadow that followed him, dimming his confidence. He tried to outrun it, throwing himself into lesson plans, but it clung to him until it seeped into his teaching. One evening, exhausted, Jonah sat by a lake, the water catching the last light of day. He recalled Dr. Voss's words, "What you resist persists." Instead of fighting the thought, he decided to face it, like turning to meet a stranger's gaze. He asked, "Why do you call me a fraud? What are you protecting?" At first, it felt awkward, but then memories emerged. Early in his career, a colleague's careless critique had cut deep, planting a seed of doubt. By naming it, Jonah began to see the thought not as truth, but as a shield, trying to keep him safe from rejection. Over time, he integrated that shadow, using it to fuel his growth. Today, Jonah leads workshops on self-confidence, his once crippling thought now a source of wisdom. This is the magic of facing your shadows. It's not about banishing them, but inviting them into the light, where they reveal their gifts. Dr. Voss believed every shadow holds energy, energy you've locked away by rejecting parts of yourself. When you embrace them, it's like opening a dam, letting a river of creativity and strength flow free. But this isn't a one-time act, it's a lifelong dance. Some days, The shadows will feel heavy, creeping back like fog over a valley. In those moments, remember, you're not fighting them. You're learning to understand them, weaving them into the story of who you are. Each step toward integration is a step toward a life where doubt no longer holds the reins. Have you ever listened to the story your mind tells you every day? It's like a quiet song playing in the background, narrating who you are and what you're capable of. For too many of us, that song is laced with doubt. I'm not enough. I'll never make it. I should be better. Dr. Voss, who unraveled the mind's mysteries until he was 87, taught us that this story isn't set in stone. It's a script you can rewrite, word by word, until it hums with possibility. Changing it starts with a brave act, questioning the thoughts you've accepted as truth, like pulling threads from a worn tapestry to see what lies beneath. Let's walk with Maya Ellison, a 29-year-old dreamer with eyes that sparkled like morning dew. Maya longed to open a bakery, a warm haven filled with the aroma of fresh bread and the chatter of neighbors. But every time she took a step toward her dream, a thought stopped her. You're not a business person. You'll fail, and everyone will know. It wasn't just a thought. It was a story she'd carried since she was a teenager, when her father, a man of logic, dismissed her creative ideas as unrealistic. That story had built a cage around her potential. One crisp autumn morning, as leaves fell like soft confetti, Maya sat in a park with a notebook, determined to rewrite her narrative. Inspired by Dr. Voss, she wrote down every doubt, then asked, "Is this true, or just a belief I've held too long?" She traced the thought to her father's words, seeing they reflected his fears, not her truth. Slowly, she began to write a new story. I'm learning, and every step teaches me. It took time, but that story took root. Today, Maya's Bakery is a neighborhood treasure, its golden light a beacon of new beginnings. This is the power of rewriting your inner narrative. It's not about masking doubts with empty positivity. It's about digging deep, unearthing the roots of your beliefs, and planting new ones that align with your true self. Dr. Voss called this individuation, the journey of becoming who you were meant to be, free from others' expectations. It's like tending a garden. You clear the weeds of limiting thoughts, nurture the soil of your mind, and watch possibilities bloom. And when you change your story, the world shifts too. Doors open, connections deepen, and life becomes a canvas you paint with purpose. Imagine standing by a calm pond, its surface a mirror for the sky. You toss a pebble, and ripples spread, touching every edge of the water. This, Dr. Voss taught us at 87, is what happens when you transform your mind. Your thoughts are energy, and when you align them with your essence, that energy doesn't just change you, it flows outward, touching everyone around you. One person's courage to face their shadows, to rewrite their story, can spark a wave that reshapes lives, communities, even the world. Consider Amir Patel, a 47-year-old nurse whose story shows this truth. Amir was a healer, his hands gentle and his heart wide, but inside he battled a storm of self-doubt. I'm not doing enough. It was a thought rooted in childhood, when he felt invisible in a crowded family. It drained him, making every hospital shift feel like climbing a mountain. One day, inspired by a colleague who shared Dr. Voss's teachings, Amir tried something new. Each morning, he sat by his window, the dawn light soft on his face, and meditated for 10 minutes, observing his thoughts like passing clouds. Slowly, he saw his doubt not as a flaw, but as a call to value himself. As Amir changed, his calm spread to patients who felt truly seen, to colleagues drawn to his quiet strength. One nurse, moved by Amir's shift, began her own journey, and soon their ward became a place of connection, not just care. Amir's transformation didn't just lift him, it created ripples, proving Dr. Voss's belief that one person's awakening lights the way for others. This is the heart of Dr. Voss's legacy. Your inner work is never just for you. Every thought you align with your purpose, every fear you face, sends out waves that inspire others. Imagine a world where more of us chose this path, where we broke free from limiting beliefs, embraced our shadows, and lived with authenticity. That world starts with you right now. So, if this stirs something in you, don't hold it close. Share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to this journey, like this moment, if you're ready to take control of your mind and join a movement of change. Your first step could be the pebble that shifts everything. What if the stories you tell yourself at night held the keys to your waking life? Dr. Elias Voss, who delved into the psyche until he was 87, believed our dreams are more than fleeting images. They're the language of the unconscious, whispering truths we're not ready to hear in daylight. Picture yourself drifting into sleep, the world quiet outside as a new realm unfolds. A forest where trees pulse with secrets, a river that murmurs your name, or a figure who feels like home. These aren't just dreams. They're invitations, Voss said, to connect with the deepest parts of you. Let's meet Sofia Delgado, a 32-year-old librarian whose life transformed when she listened to her dreams. Sofia's nights were vivid, a lighthouse standing firm against a stormy sea, a garden where flowers sang in haunting melodies. She dismissed them as whimsy, waking to a life that felt small, shelving books with a quiet ache for more. One rainy afternoon, she found a biography of Dr. Voss, its words sparking a fire. Intrigued, she began a dream journal, a leather book by her bedside. Each morning, before the day could pull her away, she'd write, "The lighthouse's salt spray, the flower's song." Following Voss's advice, she asked, "What are you showing me?" At first, answers slipped away like mist, but patterns emerged. The lighthouse was her resilience. The flowers, her buried creativity. Those dreams were maps, guiding her to a life she'd forgotten she could claim. Sofia started small, joining a poetry class she'd long dismissed as impractical. As she wrote, words flowed like the flower's melody, vibrant and free. Her poems, shared at a local reading, moved strangers to tears, their applause wrapping her like a warm shawl. Today, Sofia is crafting a poetry collection. Her once quiet life, now a song of purpose, her dreams didn't just guide her, they reminded her who she was. This is the gift of your dreams, Voss taught. They're doorways, offering glimpses of shadows and desires you've tucked away. To hear them, you don't need expertise, just a willingness to pause. Try this tonight. Keep a notebook by your bed, and when you wake, jot down what lingers, however strange. Sit with it, asking what it stirs, what it echoes. This ritual can transform your mind, turning dreams into allies on your path to authenticity. And as you listen, you'll find the unconscious speaks not just in sleep, but in every quiet moment you give yourself to see.